Namassarvebhyah Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. We start the class by chanting the Prarthana Shlokas. Krishno Rakshadu Manchara Chara Guruhu Krishnan Namasyamyaham Krishnena Marashatravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha Krishna Deva Samutthidam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Bhaktira Janjalasto Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyan Namaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrtatuhe Namaha Vasudeva Sutandevam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Vande Jagat Gurum. Sarvesham Punas Swagatam.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Panchadashodhyayah Purushottama Yogaha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ad Urdhva Moolam Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit Adhashchodvam Prastasya Shakhaha Gunapravruddha Vishaya Pravalaha Adhascha Mulanyanusantatani Karmanubandhini Manushya Narupamasyeha tathopalabhyate Nanto na chadir na cha sampratishtham Ashvatthamenam suvirudhamulam Asankashastrena dhrudena chitva Tatah padam tatparimargitavyam Yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyah Tame vachadyam purusham prapadye Yatah pravritti prasuta purani Nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha Adhyatma nitya nivritta kamaha Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi Gacchantya mudha padamavyayam tat न तद्भासयते सूयः न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्छाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानो वा गुणान्वितं पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानः नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजः जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्छाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम् गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधीः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninan Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachamyannan Chaturvidham Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtaha Mattasmrtiඥānamapohananca Vedaicha sarvairahameva vidyah Vedanta kritveda videva chaham Tvabhimau purushau loke Ksharashchakshara eva cha Ksharas sarvani bhutani Kutasthokshara uchyate Uttamah purushastvanyah Paramatmetyudahritah Yo lokatrayamavishya Vibhartyavyaya Ishvarah Yasmaksharamatiitoham Aksharaadapi chottamah Atosmi loke vede che Prathitah purushottamah Yo mamevamasambudhah Janati purushottamam Sa sarvavid bhajati mam Sarvabhavena bharata Iti kutyatamam shastram Idamuktam maya nagha Etad buddhiva buddhiman syat Krutakutyascha bharata Om Tatsaditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Jana Samvade Purushottama Yugo Nama Panchadashodhyayah.
Uttam, well, Dhanyavadaha, well chanted.
Dhanyawad.
So in the 13th sloka, we have seen there are 5 factors that is responsible for the actions. So now Bhagavan is going to describe the true nature of action. So in the chapter 4, we have seen all actions, karma yoga, everything finally culminate in knowledge. So there are 2 components to the knowledge. The first is that the self, the Atma, is actionless. Since there is no possibility of change or modification in Atma, so it is self-Atma is actionless. So we are talking about action. So this leads to second component of knowledge. If I, the self, is not performing the action, something else must be doing the work. So as long as we are not fully convinced that something else is performing the work, action, so we will hold on to that old notion that self is working, Atma is working, self is working, that kind of this thing, we will hold on to that notion. So we have to know what exactly is, what is the nature of this karma, who is doing this karma, action. So he gives a detailed analysis of action and its components so that we may come to the right conclusion. So here in the chapter 4, in the sloka 14, so he talks about 5 factors that are contributing or that are responsible for actions. For doing any action, these 5 factors are required. So we'll continue. Atishtanan tatha karta karanancha prithak vidham vivithascha prithak cheshtaha daivanchaivatra panchamam. So here Bhagavan says the body, adhishtanam is the body, and tatha, the karta is the agent who is doing the work, and various karanam, various senses that are used for doing the action. Prithak vidam, there is many types of karanams are there. Vivithascha prithak cheshtaha, that is different functions of various parts, various sorts. Prithak cheshtaha. Daivan chaivatra panjamam, and the preceding deity also the fifth. So these are the 5 factors. Adhishthanam, the body, Karta, the doer, Karanam is all the Indriyas, various types of Indriyas, and the various types of actions, and Daivam, that is the presiding deity. These are the 5 factors. So here we take the example of a say a robo. A robo is used mainly nowadays. They are used mainly for doing this monotonous work. Robos do. So what do this robo actually? What do they contain? So they have got a body. And then they have got so many instruments and sensors inside the body. And they have the hand. Suppose it is for floor cleaning or for floor sweeping. So it will have the necessary accessories for that purpose. That will be there. And then finally it will have a source of power. So where it can utilize the power, either battery or something, and it will do the work. So that is a robo. So similarly, human beings also, Sri Krishna says that whenever a human being performs an action, 3 factors come into play. So the size of our body, then the state of our instruments. We have also got instruments, our sense organs and our organs of action, karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. Jnanendriyas are our eyes, ears, nose, etc. And then the that is karmendriyas, that is action, like the hands, legs, etc. These are the karmendriyas. So they come into play. And our power system is our prana or energy or the health that we have. So that is our power system. So these there correspond to what's happening in a robo. Beyond this, there is something else also in a human being. So different from robo. So that is 2 additional factors. That is the karta, and also the daivam, divinity. So these 2 factors are also additionally there in the human beings. The 4th component, known as karta, the doer, also known as the sense of agency that conducts the actions, is normally known by the term I. So when intellect is planning an action, we say, I am thinking. Instead of saying intellect is thinking, I am thinking, you say. And then when our hand is performing an action, like the sweeping, so when we sweeping the floor, we say, I am sweeping the floor. The hands are sweeping the floor, but we say, I am sweeping the floor. So everywhere, suppose there is an obstruction there and you see a wall there. So I see a wall there. So the eyes are seeing the wall, but you see, I am seeing the wall. So instead of hands are sweeping the floor, so everywhere, instead of the organ we use, instead of telling that the organs are doing the work, we substitute with I, which is quite illusory. It is not correct. I am doing, but as the hands are doing, the intellect is doing, the eyes are seeing. So we are using the instruments. The instruments are doing the work. We say, I am doing it. So for now, we can say that is the motive behind the performance of action. So what motivates, not I, is just for time being, we say is a motive. Why do we sweep the floor? We think of sweeping and then we start sweeping. So that motive is there somewhere. So we say that is the motive is initiating that action. So, and that identifies with a certain aspect of the mind or body. Suppose we have motive is there that we have to sweep the floor. So motive is there. Then it activates the hands, it takes the broomstick, and then it starts sweeping the floor. So motivation is there. That motivation is the one which is doing the karta part. And it's just certain that what hands, what are they're doing is only an upadhi. They are only just sweeping the floor, but the motivation is there to do the sweeping action. So the 5th component, we say daivam or panchamam, that's with this thing, divinity. Unless Ishvara supports all actions, any action, it will not result in success. Or we can say that the world or the universe as a whole has a part in determining the outcome of an action. Despite everything executed perfectly at the individual level, it still has to align with the action at the universal level. So, for example, we can say a cricket match is going to be held. Very exciting match. Everything is ready. Everything, all are prepared. The day has come. But suppose there is a downpour on the previous day. So the pitch is, you cannot be playing the pitch. So the match is abandoned. So the universe also has to cooperate. Then only that work will be completed. Similarly, in every case, the universe has to support. Then only finally the work will be done. So these are the 5 agents doing the work. So and this will continue with this. This is what is told in this sloka. These 5 factors that are responsible for any action. We'll continue.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Adhishthānam tatha karta.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Adhishthānam tatha karta.
Karanancha prithak vidham.
Karanancha prithak vidham. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Vididhascha prithak cheshtaha. Vididhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Daivanchaivatra panchamam. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Uttamani.
Vatsala Bhagini.
Adhishthānam tatha karta.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Adhishthānam tatha karta.
Karanancha prithak vidham.
Karanancha prithak vidham. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Karanancha prithak vidham. Though there is no kara, this so normal only. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Karanancha prithak vidham. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Vividhascha prithak no. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha.
Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Daivanchaivatra panchamam. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Uttam.
Prema Shriram Bhagini.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham. Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Uttam.
Ilavarasi Bhagini.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham. Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Uttam.
Kanchana Bhagini.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Adhishthānam tatha karta. Karanancha prithak vidham. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivanchaivatra panchamam.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता कारणं च पृथग्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः चैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्
Daivan chaivatra panchamam.
दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्.
Uttam. So we'll go to the next thing. So sharira vang mano phiryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayavva viparitavva panchaite tasya hetavaha. So next sloka, whatever action a man performs, karma prarabhate naraha. So whatever action man initiates or does, speech, body, speech and mind, using these things, sharira, vang, that is speech, mano, that is sharira, vang, manopir, yat karma, whatever karma one is doing, starting to do this, using body, the speech or the mind, nyayavva viparitavva, maybe right or wrong, maybe according to prescriptions in the scriptures or against the prescriptions in the scriptures, right or wrong, the panchaite tasya hetavaha. These 5 factors we previously told, these are the reasons for those things. These 5 do whatever these actions are done by these 5 factors. So that's what Bhagavan says here. So any action that we perform has of 5 of those components. We see yesterday, adhishtanam, karta, karanam, then cheshta, prutak, cheshtaha, daivam. So these 5 are there. The body provides the foundation for the action. The instruments comprise the 5 organs, and the 5 organs of senses and 5 organs of action. The energy system of the body, the prana, provides the fuel needed to perform the action. The individual notion, the ego, provides the motive behind the action, and the Daivam Ishvara ensures that the universe supports the performance of the action. So Sri Krishna reiterates here that there is no action that beyond the domain of these 5 factors. There are no actions beyond the domain of those 5 factors that we saw in the last sloka. So the 5 factors are the material cause as well as the intelligence behind an action. These 5 factors. Actually, our true self, the eternal essence, has nothing whatsoever to do with the action. You can see that. Our true essence, our true self, has nothing whatsoever to do with this action. We have seen the 5 factors that contribute. Those 5 factors do not contain any of the self, all material factors only, prakriti only. The mind generates thoughts and the body performs actions. So it is very, the very same factors that can perform an action in conformity with scriptures, that these same 5 factors that can work in conformity with scriptures. That is, they can do good actions as well as actions that go against the universe and its laws. He can do a bad work, he can do a good work. So for both these, the same 5 factors are responsible. So sinful action can do, or a meritorious action can do. Both are done by these 5 factors. The way a person looks at the world, as well as the nature of his intelligence, that determines whether he will perform an action lawfully or sinfully. He will perform an action. The entire process of action is analyzed in detail. The next slokas, the entire process of action is analyzed in detail. These are the overview of the factors that cause an action that is presented here. How the action is initiated and how the action is done by the various factors we have seen. So this is what being done here. I'll continue.
Varalakshmi Bhagini.
Shariravang mano phiryat.
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत्
कर्म प्रारभते नरः
कर्म प्रारभते नरः कर्म प्रारभते नरः
न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा
नैयै
न्याय्यं
न्यायैव विपरीतं वा
न्याय्यं न्यायं न्यायं न्यायं
न्यायं
न्याय्यं
न्यायैव विपरीतं वा न्यायैव विपरीतं वा
पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
उत्तमम्
थैंक यू
अनिता भगिनी
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत्
शरीरवाक्मनो विद्यन् शरीरवाक्मनो विद्यन्
कर्म प्रारभते नरः
कर्म प्रारेभते नरः कर्म प्रारेभते नरः
न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा
नान्यव्या वा विपरीतं वा नान्या वा विपरीतं वा
पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
पञ्चातस्य हेतवः पञ्चैयेतस्य हेतवः
उत्तमम्
हरे कृष्ण
विनोदा भगिनी
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः
कर्म प्रारभते नरः
कर्म प्रारभते नरः
A ditvam is there here. Karma prarabhate naraha.
कर्म प्रारभते नरः सम्यक् वा
न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
उत्तमम्
नागमणि भगिनी
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः
न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
उत्तमम्
धन्यवादः
पद्मा विश्वनाथन भगिनी
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
उत्तमम्
रघुनाथ महोदय
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः
यत् कर्म प्रारभते that is karma
कर्म प्रारभते नरः
उत्तमम् the next thing तत्रैव सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् nasapashyati durmatihi. So here, this being the case, we have seen 5 reasons, 5 causes of action, and then they are used in all these in action. They are used, only these 5 factors are used for good work or bad work, good karma or bad karma. These 5 components will come into play. So this being the case, tatraiva sati tadi kartaram atmanam keval kartaram. The karta, one who has an untrained intellect, pasyat takrita buddhitva, untrained intellect, see the pure self, kevalam, atmanam kevalam, that is pure self as the doer. The pure self as the doer. This person, indeed, this person is a perverted understanding. Durmatihi is a perverted understanding. He doesn't see properly. He sees not. So when he has the perverted mind, this untrained mind sees the pure Atma as the doer of the actions. So whereas we have seen that all these 5 factors we have seen, they are doing the work, whereas he sees this Atma is doing the work. So he doesn't see properly. So here we see clouds moving in the sky. On a full moon day, we can see clouds moving in the sky, and imagine that the moon is moving. While it is stationary, we see other vehicles moving, particularly in a railway station, we see the other train will be moving, and we think our train is moving, which is stationary. So it is pointed out here that what we see or experience may not be really the truth. May not be really the truth. This is what even Shankaracharya also quoted these examples to point to say that Atma is not the Karta. People without knowing, that is untrained mind, sees like that. So Sri Krishna further says that the entire life is steeped in the incorrect notion that we perform actions. As you have seen above, the self is stationary. The Prakriti is moving. We do not see this because our intellect is untrained. It is Akrita Buddhi. That's what here tells them, Akrita Buddhi. Untrained mind, we have not imbibed the knowledge that action is performed by the 5 factors mentioned above. The scriptures and Sri Krishna are repeatedly informing that ultimately Ishvara's Prakriti is performing all the actions, not ourselves, not the Atma, not the eternal essence. We fail to see this. We are Durmati, that is perverted. We have perverted understanding, not proper understanding. So unless someone states, or unless some seer or some holy person, people hear such statement from a teacher, a holy person, well versed in scriptures, this age-old misunderstanding never comes up for questioning. We don't question this. We believe that just like that. So the most common understanding is that the body is the self, the Atma. Some other people think that the Jiva, the individual soul, is the Atma. But both of these schools of thought attribute action to the Atma, which is incorrect. They attribute all actions to the Atma. So furthermore, even the results of actions go to the Prakriti only. So they do not go to the self. So the, self is doing the work, the result should go to the self, but it's not going to the self, the Atma. It doesn't go to the Atma, it goes to Prakriti. So the Atma is Kevala, untainted, that is Kevalam, Atmanam Kevalam, untainted, pure, and incapable of any change, modification, or action. So what is correct understanding? So here, the perverted understanding is there. So what is correct understanding? We'll see the next sloka. Tatraivam, we'll continue.
Prema Shriram Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram.
Tatraivam sati kartaram. Tatraivam sati kartaram.
Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
Atmanam kevalantu yaha. Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat.
Pashyatyakrita buddhitvat. Pashyatyakrita buddhitvat.
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat.
Pashyatyakrita buddhitvat. Pashyatyakrita buddhitvat.
Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
Nasapashyati dharmatihi. Nasapashyati dharmatihi.
Uttam.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारं तत्रैवं सति कर्तारं
Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat.
पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात्
Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam.
धन्यवादः
Vinoda Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram. Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat. Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam.
Vatsala Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram. Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
तत्रैवं सदि कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः तत्रैवं सदि कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat. Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न पश्यति दुर्मतिः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः न स
Saraswati sa.
न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram. Atmanam kevalantu yaha.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः
Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat. Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
पश्यत्यकृतिबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
Tatraivam sati kartaram. Atmanam kevalantu yaha. Pasyatyakೃತ buddhitvat. Nasa pashyati durmatihi.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam.
Raghunath Mahodaya.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलन्तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः
Uttam. So you see, Atman is inaction. This is what is told in this sloka. Yasya naham kruto bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatva visayimal lokan nahanti na nibadhyate. So here, he who is free from the notion of egoism, yasya naham krito bhavaka, that is egoism, naham krito bhavaka, buddhir yasya na lipre, whose understanding or whose understanding is not tainted, buddhir yasya na lipyate, hatva pisa imal lokan, though he kills these people, he kills not, nor is he bound, nibadhyate. Even though he, a person who is no egoism and whose buddhi understanding is not tainted, even if he kills these people, he doesn't kill, and he is not bound also. This is what Bhagavan says here. Previously, we came across incorrect understanding of action. Whenever we think, I am performing the action, it is incorrect, born out of ignorance. It is durmati. So Sri Krishna gives correct understanding. When we think that this action is being performed with the 5 factors of Prakriti, not by me, this is the correct understanding. So when I'm when I am remembering that it is done by me, is a wrong understanding. When we think that the action is being performed with the 5 factors of Prakriti, not by me, that is the correct understanding. This is sumati, correct understanding. And after the action is performed, we do not let the results of the action impact us. Results of the action will not impact us. So in other words, we are not attached to the reward of the action. So, so the a new way of interpretation is like this: do your best and leave the rest. As we continue our journey in Karma Yoga, our selfish desires and vasanas will slowly wither away. Karma Yoga means that karma bhala tyagam. If you do continue to work, our vasanas and all desires will wither away, paving the way for knowledge of the self. Then we will come to the realization that only the self, the Atma, is real or Sat. We said Om Tat Sat, we saw last time. The real or Sat is only Atma. Actions are in the realm of Prakriti. All actions are in the realm of, in the domain of Prakriti, which is Asat or illusory. It is not real, it is illusory. So, as per Shankaracharya's commentary, this sloka embodies the sum and substance of Gita. This sloka. And even all the Vedas, this is the sum and substance. We start our lives thinking that we are the body. The scriptures, the Vedas tell us that we are not the body. We are the jivas who use the body and mind to perform selfless service. Now, at the conclusion of Vedas, Vedanta, we are told that we are beyond the jiva also. We are beyond the jiva also. So that is, jiva is our individual soul, that we are beyond that also. That's what Vedanta says. The attitude of non-identification with the doership of actions differentiates a sannyasi, a monk, from a tyagi who has renounced action. As per Arjuna's first question, it was like the tyagi. Whereas a sannyasi has got this attitude that he is beyond jiva, and he has got all that mental or convictions that he is the real self, that is Ishvara, everything is there. But he also does all these tyagas. But our ordinary person is just renounces action only. But sannyasi knows the actual the truth behind the tyagam, everything he knows. So he differentiates sannyasi from an ordinary tyagi. So with the words, he kills but does not kill. So hatva pisa imal lokan na hanti na nibadhyate. Even if he is killing, he is not killing. So here we are taken to the second chapter. In second chapter, that is the Sankhya Yoga, we are told Sri Krishna convinces Arjuna to fight the war. Because Arjuna told he has to fight with Bhishma, Drona, so respected people. He has to fight with them, and he doesn't want to fight with them. Something will happen. He may have to kill them. So he is, but Arjuna is convinced by Sri Krishna to fight the war. So, some practical standpoint, we have to deal with the action. We have to do the action. The Sri Krishna continues analysis of action from the standpoint of three gunas now. Three gunas, because action is in the realm of Prakriti. So, unless we understand fully, we will not get any notion of doership. So, we should know who is doing this karma action, because you see that that two knowledge we have culmination we saw. One is that self is not doing the work, but then who is doing the work? That was the question. So then here we have to see that the Prakriti is all the actions are in the Prakriti, and Prakriti is these gunas are there: Sattvika, Rajasik, and Tamasic. So in terms of these gunas, now this action is explained more by Bhagavan. So that is what is told here. Yasya nahang krito bhavaka. So no egoism of doership, and whose buddhi understanding is not tainted. Even if he kills, he is not killing, and also he is not bound. That's what Bhagavan says here. Continue.
Vatsala Bhagini.
Yasya nahang krito bhavaka.
Yasya naham krito bhavaha. Yasya naham krito bhavaha.
Buddhiryasya na lipyate.
Buddhiryasya na libyate. Buddhiryasya na libyate.
Lipyate.
Libyate.
Papa lipyate.
Libyate. Libyate.
Hatva pisayima lokan.
Hatva bisa iman lokan. Hatva bisa iman lokan.
Nahanti na nibadhyate.
Nahandi na nibyat. Nahandi na nibyate. Nahandi na nibyate.
Is my pronunciation okay? I don't know whether I'm pronouncing correctly, but you are getting the wrong thing. Hatva pi, all pa is there. I don't know whether I'm heard properly. Hatva pi sayima lokan nahantina nibadhyate.
Okay. Hatva bisa iman lokan nahandina nibyate.
Nibadhyate.
Nibatyate. Hatva bisa iman loka nahandina nibyate. Nipadyate. Nipadyate.
Hatva pi. I'm telling hatva pi. Pa.
Hatva pi. Hatva pi. Saiman loka nahandina nibatyate.
Okay.
Padma Vishwanathan Bhagini.
Yasya nahang krito bhavaha.
Yasya nahang krito bhavaha. Yasya nahang krito bhavaha.
Buddhiryasya na lipyate.
Buddhiryasya na lipyate. Buddhiryasya na lipyate.
Hatva pisayima lokan.
Hatva pisayima lokan. Hatva pisayima lokan.
Nahanti na nibadhyate.
Nahanti na nibadhyate. Nahanti na nibadhyate.
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 Is ba only. I don't know whether I'm also chanting ba.
Nahanti na nibadhyate.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Yasya nahang krito bhavaha. Buddhiryasya na lipyate.
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते धन्यवादः
काञ्चना भगिनी
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
So here this Chandrakala is shown here, this thing. So imal lokan, this ill will come.
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
Uttam.
मीनाक्षी भगिनी
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते
लक्ष्मी किरण भगिनी
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
Uttam. So here the three gunas give impetus or motivating or driving force to karma, the three gunas. So you'll see that in this. So here jnananyeyam parijnata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. So here jnanam, knowledge, jnanam, nyeyam, the object of knowledge, parijnata, that is the knower, parijnata, trividha, karma chodanaha, that is these three initiate action. Jnanam, nyeyam, parijnata, the knower, that is the knowledge, object of jnanam, object of knowledge, and parijnata, and these three initiate action. And the instruments, karanam, instruments, that karma, that is the target of action, and karta, karteti, karta, trivita, basis of action, karma sangraha. So this is how Bhavan is now explaining how action takes place. So just conclude, just tell this and conclude. So this is the culmination of Gita, that is the ending of Gita teaching, is the realization that our true nature is the eternal essence, and that does not act in this world, nor experiences anything in this world, since action and experience are in the realm of Prakriti. Our actual essential nature doesn't experience in this world anything. So everything is experienced by all in the realm of Prakriti. So we qualify for this teaching through the practice of Karma Yoga. Now we will be able to realize this, understand this teaching by practicing Karma Yoga. So here, Sri Krishna gives an in-depth analysis of action. So what is the genesis or birth of action? How an action is started? How does an action commence? Particular action. So our sense organs, we know, ears, eyes, etc., send a report to the mind. having seen, felt, touched, tasted, or smelt something. Sense organs are giving report to the mind. This is the process of perception. This is how it starts. Or a thought about an earlier perception arises in the mind. That is the beginning. That either you see directly that particular thing, or you get a thought about it. Both of these things can initiate the action. This process are same for all people in this world. Everybody is having the same thing. Both you and I, suppose, for example, both you and I see a red apple. In the same manner, a red apple is there, both of us see it is there. In this case, the red apple is termed as Nyayam, an object, which is known. This is the step one, the first step in how the action takes place. The first step one. What happens next? So both of us see the same red apple. You may have it, you may love it. Someone else may hate it, and I would be indifferent to it. So the difference in our view towards the apple, it is the same, our worldview in general. This is to the particular red apple. The same way we have views in about whatever happening in the world is due to the difference in our samskaras. Samskaras, or what is there latent in our gunas in our system, that is responsible for this. So we attach a certain meaning to objects, people, and situations based on our samskara. We all do that. So this individual vision of the world is termed as knowledge or jnanam. This is the jnanam that we have about this world. So it looks at the objects in question and generates a sense of attraction, repulsion, or indifference. This is step two. So one loves apple, one hates apple, one indifferent to it. So this, our jnanam is there. We know that apple is good. One fellow knows. So that fellow got a sense of attraction towards that. Next, this is the second step. Next step is the notion of attraction, repulsion, or indifference creates a modification in the intellect called the doer or karta. The doer or karta is it much modifies the intellect, because he wants to do something that he has seen apple, he loves it, some action is generated. So it is illusory, it is an illusory entity. What causes that attraction, or that is an illusory quantity. We say, I want the red apple, so go get it. I want that. Who is that I? That it's an illusory entity, but or the ego or whatever. It says, I want the red apple, go and get it. Or the other person who is getting it say, oh, I hate the red apple. I get the red apple, throw it away. So the doer issues these instructions to the gharana, or the organ, that is here the action organs, that is the karmendriyas, organs of action, which then do as they are told. One person who likes, he says, take the apple. Other person who doesn't like it, he goes there and throws away the apple. So the action is carried out. Note the doer only comes into existence when this attraction or repulsion is there. Doer comes into action only when there is both of these things. The jiva is a witness in indifferent to likes and dislikes. So the doer, the organs of action, and the object make up the karma sangraha. The doer, the organs of action, and the object. Here the doer is the person who likes or dislikes the apple, and the organs of action is the hand, and the object is the apple. So this is the basis of action. This is the step 3. When finally the object, the target of action, is consumed by the senses, another modification of the mind called the enjoyer, the bhokta, arises. So it creates the notion that I have experienced the object and it gave me joy or sorrow. This is parijnata, the knower mentioned in the sloka. A record of this experience, pleasure or pain, is stored in the conscious, in the conscious aspect of our personality. The record, this samskara, becomes the seed for future action by creating thoughts of desire in the mind, prompting further actions and experiences. This process of enjoyment of an object is the fourth step. So these 4 steps taken together describe the life cycle of an action. The life cycle of an action is these 4 steps from start to finish. So the action is completed. It has formed samskara in the mind, and of liking or disliking, it has formed a samskara, and it is gone. That is the cycle of action. It is fully analyzed in depth what happens in each and every aspect. We'll conclude. This is too much. You have taken too much time. We'll conclude with the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಮಹೋದಯ.